Hi there, Kira here with another scrapbook layout process video for Citrus Twist. So this is for the Sunday sketch, and that was a quick glance at the sketch. If you want to play along, you can head over to the blog. I do have a blog post up with this sketch, and you can play along with the sketch challenge, and I will go ahead and link that down below for you. So I really like this sketch because it has a big title, which I love, and it has kind of a grid design up in the upper right hand corner with the photos. So I started with my title because I knew I wanted to hand stitch on it, and I used two different fonts to spell out sweet selfies, and I used the same paper for each of the words, but I just did the reverse side. So one side has these little oranges on it, and I thought that would be cute using the word sweet with oranges. Kind of ties that in. And then on the reverse side is like this peach color with like some triangles, I think. And I did selfies in a different font. And I just went ahead and machine stitched over selfies, and I hand stitched around sweet. And that's my title. So I am scrapbooking these photos of my son Elliot, who is playing with my headband in these photos. And I just turned the camera around on selfie mode, and he just had a grand old time watching himself play in the camera. So I just took a couple of those and printed them a little smaller because I had so many of them. It was kind of hard to narrow down which ones I was going to use. So I just printed a bunch out, and then these were the two I ended up with. So I will add some layers behind the photos, but right now I'm going to kind of work on some clusters around here. So I used one of the little labels from the Pink Fresh Studio sticker pack, and I'm going to end up stamping my date on that little label. I bumped it up on some foam to give it a little bit of dimension. And then I used another sticker from that sticker pack. And it says, "Let's do this little arrow. And mostly I chose it for the color because it was like that kind of peachy color, and I thought would work well with the color scheme that I have going on here. So as of right now, what you're looking at, I'm sticking with a pretty basic color scheme. I'm just sticking with kind of the aqua color and the peach, and I'm just pulling out embellishments that kind of match that. But then when I start to do my layers on my photo, I realize that I'm going to have to bring in another color here. So I'm using some of this little scrap paper to build up my layers, and I'm using the paper that I used for my title, but then I decided to bring out some of the other papers from this kit, and this is another Dear Lizzie paper in that same Stay Colorful collection. So it's got the peaches and like that orange color in there, but it also has some pink. So I decide, okay, if I bring in this paper, I will have to bring in some pink, which is fine. I don't mind bringing in some more pink, but that it just means I need to add some of that color to my other clusters around the page. I thought for a second I would use that little strip to layer behind this photo, but it doesn't end up making it. I kind of fussed around a little bit trying to decide what I want to do, and I just end up layering this photo with the little orange paper with the oranges on it, and then the reverse side, which is this peach paper. And I stuck pretty closely to the sketch. On the sketch, it does have on the right hand photo, there's a little tab, and so I decided to use the vellum because there's vellum in this kit, and I'm sort of on a vellum kick right now. I'm pretty sure that at least 80% of the layouts I've made in the last couple weeks have had vellum on them. So I used my tab punch, and I just punched a little vellum tab, and I just machine stitched it directly on my photo. And what you see me doing now is I'm going to take one of these stamps from the stamp set, and I'm going to stamp it directly on that tab. So I use the stamp. It says, "Be brave, be wild," and it doesn't really have anything to do with the story or the photos that I'm I'm scrapbooking here, but basically anytime that I have the word wild on any embellishment or scrapbook, anything, I have to use it for my son Elliot because he is my little wild child. So that's the only reason I chose this stamp, was because it had the word wild on it. So I just stamped that on black, and I think it's a really cute little embellishment. It's not, doesn't stand out too much, but it's, just adds another little bit of texture and a little fun element there. I will bump my photos up on some foam, and just to give those a little bit of dimension. And let's see, after I do that, I think this is where I decide that I need to bring in some pink. So I'm going to kind of look through the embellishments again. I pull out the little Pick Me Up puffy stickers, which are my favorite puffy stickers ever. I've already used a whole pack of these, and I could use probably 10 more packs of them because they have these tiny little puffy flowers and hearts and stars on them, which I think are just perfect for kind of finishing off a page. So I look through the embellishments, and in the ephemera pack for the Stay Colorful collection, there's this little strawberry, and it doesn't really have anything to do with anything except for the fact that it's pink, and strawberries are sweet, right? So I add that behind, or just right next to my title, and then I add a few of these puffy stickers around just to bring in a little bit more of that pink. So I brought in a puffy sticker next to the S in sweet, and then a puffy sticker right on my photo that's like a little speech bubble. It says, "Hey." And I think that it's just the perfect amount of pink to kind of tie in that paper that I used up top there. So now I'm just going to go ahead and adhere everything down. I will stamp my date. And then when I stamped my date, I was so mad. I stamped it. The date is February 28th. And I changed the date on my roller stamp, and I stamped it down, and it accidentally stamped out. Well, maybe I just didn't see that it was the 29th instead of the 28th. It was total user error, but it said it stamped out February 29th, which did not even exist this year. So you'll see I have to kind of just change that 9 to an 8, which wasn't a huge deal, but it was like, God, everything was going so well with this layout, and then that happened. Anyways, my journaling, the sketch called for journaling underneath the left-hand photo. So I decided to type up my journaling on the vellum just to bring in another little bit of that vellum. And I just cut it down so it's just a little tiny square, and I'm going to end up using some tiny attacher staples to staple it directly to my page. So I opened up my tiny attacher and then put it on my little foam mat here, and then I'm just going to press the little staples down so it's stapled to the page. And again, that I think was a nice little added touch of a different material, and then adding the staples in, which was kind of like the sketch too. So this is where my date, oh gosh, so I just had to change that to an 8, and then I think I just call it done. I was trying to decide if I wanted to add anything else to it, but I liked how it looked, and that's it. So if you have any questions, leave in the comments below. Here's some close-ups for you so you can see all the details of this layout, and make sure to check out the blog post so you can use this sketch as well. Have a good day. Bye.